What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Poolside Chat. We have the second part of the live stream I had with Lil Chris back in June, where we reviewed a couple of my APA matches. The last video is where I took out the first part, which is an APA 9-ball match. You're going to want to go check that one out. A ton of great information. Now we're going to get into the second match, which is an APA 8-ball match. Ton of more information, even more. But do me a favor real quick. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give this video a like. Go ahead and go grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a notepad and a pen, take some notes. We got a ton of good stuff to go over. Let's get into this. So yeah, now we're gonna switch over to APA APA 8-ball.
All right, so look, completely different strategy. Since we're not going to be dictated by the pattern, because we can shoot at whatever ball that belongs to our set. So that's why you heard me say earlier about how with 8-ball you generally would like to try to minimize your cue ball as much as possible. But I know a lot of times I've seen it to where players that like to play 9-ball try to play 8-ball like 9-ball, which means they're flaring their cue ball around a lot, and that could be very detrimental. Very detrimental. So let's see how well you minimize your cue ball movement. How much planning do you put into your patterns to where you are trying to move your cue ball as little as possible?
So, and I purposely chose this match. This is a Geo. He plays in my league, obviously. This guy's been getting quite a bit better real quick. He's an APA 6 and then I think he's still a 7 and 9-ball, but I think he's a 5-15 Fargo. But his game is leveling up very fast. So I'm watching. Like, he's definitely increasing skill. So I figured this would be a good match to be able to show him and let him kind of see what he's doing, and we can discuss it like we have been.
Yep. I noticed you're doing the second ball break for this one. And so the same break advice would apply here. If you're gonna hit that second ball, target it, right? It's the only ball on the table. So where exactly do you want to contact it in order to try to create a consistent hit? Here, I would definitely say that two things are either happening. Either you're cutting that ball way too much, or you're not putting enough bottom spin, which is what led to your scratch, because your cue ball should not be going around the rack. You should be trying to hit the side rail and either come back through the rack or come through the middle of the table. One or the other. You definitely don't want to go behind the rack.
Yeah, I definitely aim my 8-ball rack. I aim a little bit of low left, kind of like this, and then I aim at the left edge of the second ball that meets the third ball. That's where my aim is, because that little bit of left deflects it to hit full into the second ball.
I would probably say that maybe
mindset.
I would probably say maybe try to put a little bit more draw then, if that's a consistent aim that you do there.
It is, but that one I saw the way it glanced. I actually clipped the head ball.
Oh, okay. All right, so APA, this is ball in hand behind the head string.
I want to give a quick shout. Hello, Adam and Molly. I see you guys. He just texted me a picture. He's got the live stream up on his TV.
That's awesome.
He actually he lives like 2 minutes from my house. He said he's going to break in the house and come mess up the live stream. No, you're not, buddy. I got Michelle upstairs. She's going to stop that.
All right, so nice little stop shot there from your opponent, but being on the rail, let's see how he decides to pick apart his pattern.
Yeah, he's got definitely find shape for that 10, and I don't think he got it there. If you can see the 10, this is absolutely the best time to take it. Looks like he's going the 11 though.
That a little on the soft side. I say soft because I thought he was going to move from that ball to the 10 ball.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
It's like you said, I do agree that 10 ball is the problem that he has. Now he's dealing with it. He's dealing with it rather well. But now he has to really move his cue ball to get back on that 11 ball.
I mean, if he can, see, and that's where I think just a little bit of left to get it towards the 7. Even if you bump the 7, it's fine, but no spin, put him behind it.
Now, I will grant you that that if he would have shot it differently, then clearly, he could have had a better result. But I would argue that he should have played a completely different pattern. So can we go back to his ball and hand shot?
From the very beginning?
Yeah. And actually, this is probably the only time I'll actually highlight or talk about the opponent's pattern, because I should be focusing more on you. But this is more about lessons more than anything else.
Absolutely.
So you just talked about how important that 10 ball is, because it's behind the 2 and the 8. It's difficult to get position on it. So the question is how. So now we're starting with ball in hand behind the head string. I would wonder, because I could be wrong based on the camera angle, could he have shot the 11 right now and then try to get position on the 10 like I thought he was going to do earlier? If that is the case, then that is definitely how I would have led this run out with. You shoot the 11 ball, if you get all the way over there to where you can pass the 2 stripes that are in the middle, shoot the 11 ball with a rolling cue ball, hit the short rail, come back up. Yes, we can risk getting behind the 8 ball, but that's a risk we have to accept, because if we hit that shot and take the 10 ball out, the 9 ball is right there. Everything else is lickety split, and the rack could be over. So one could always argue, well, if I'd have just shot the shot that I messed up on, or if I would have made the shot that I missed, everything would be okay. Yes, you're absolutely right. But in rotation games, a lot of the times your mess up is not because of the shot that you missed. It's the shots that you took that led up to the miss. To where if you can improve the cue ball transitionings from one shot to the next, then hopefully whatever shot that you missed will be a little bit easier. So therefore you can make it a little bit better. In the case of 8 ball, that still remains true, but what is also added is the pattern that you play. If you actually pick a better pattern where you prioritize balls that you consider to be in trouble. Because in this case here, with ball in hand behind the head string, I do believe the rack is runnable. So he could actually end the rack. He can win the rack from here. Sometimes you do end up with patterns where I don't care what your skill set is. It's just not runnable. You just got to figure out how to out strategize your opponent to where you're going to allow your opponent to come back under a very certain condition in hopes that you're going to be able to get back to the table.
Right.
So in this case here, I would definitely be trying to figure out how to prioritize getting position on that 10 ball very quickly rather than towards the end like he did. Right, beautiful shot there. I'd be curious to know if that 9 ball passes the 11 ball.
It looks like it does. Now, he's on the rail, so you're not gonna really be able to do anything other than a rolling, soft roller. But he should have been able to roll that 9 by.
Yeah, but right here, if anything, I think he should have played from the 11 to the 10, and then that would have changed everything. Because then you go from the 10 to the 9, 9 to the 11, and you're automatically, or 9 to the what ball? The 15, 9 to the 15, because he just shot the 11. Because then he would have natural position on the 8 ball.
And even before he shot the 11, I didn't see him step aside behind the cue ball. Like, can he even see the 10 right there? He just went straight at the 11 because that's the next seeable ball.
So in this instance here, it's like, okay, well, can I get away with hitting the ball softer so that way I don't get hooked behind that 7 ball? I mean, sure, right? But I'd rather you be in a position where you don't have to play that.
All right.
Because that ball would have been gone a long time ago. Because now, this is where I find it funny on sometimes when people say, well, I only lost by 1 ball. And I'm like, yeah, but you lost.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
Is
I
that the
played
Fast
well
and
up until
Furious
that.
rule? It doesn't matter if you lose by an inch or a mile. Losing, winning's winning.
You still lose. To where when you look at something like this, you think like, you know, Stripes is doing good. No, Stripes is in trouble now, because in this particular position, regardless of what you do in this inning, your opponent has to wait for you to miss so badly that you grant him a shot at his last strike.
Right.
Now, you started with that ball there, which was the 2 ball. I don't have a particular issue with that, but now I'm curious of what the rest of your out's going to be. A little bit of a rolling shot as you come off the short rail there. Did we come out enough so we could shoot the 5? Looks like maybe we did. That looks good. So I'm already seeing where I have one small little problem with the pattern that you're playing, but let's see how it plays out.
Okay.
Okay, looks like our next ball is going to be the 7 ball. Oh, what a shot. Nicely done.
Thank you. This should be a slight rolling ball, just so I can do a stop shot on the 3. Unless, because I don't.
Okay, I like this pivot that you did there. And it's for this reason. I actually thought the 6 and the 7 might have been the last ball that you were going to use, and that's really where I was going to have the disagreement on. But what an unfortunate miss, because that way you have the natural position that you'd want on the 8 ball. So let's go back to your ball in hand, and let's look at the layout, and let's look at the pattern. So ideally, I would think that maybe the 3, the 5, or the 1 probably should be the key ball to the 8 ball. Key ball meaning it's the last ball that you're going to shoot at before you get position on the 8 ball.
Sure.
And so that also means, well, when you decide to pick whatever ball you're going to shoot at before the 8 ball, what ball is going to allow you to easily get position on that ball, and then what ball is going to allow you. So you kind of start with your 8 ball and you kind of just start working backwards. Now, I'm not going to suggest that you have to work all the way backwards,
right?
But maybe 3 or 4 balls altogether, and that's including the 8 ball. So the 8 ball plus 2 or 3 other balls, and then you figure out how do you with the remaining balls. So we saw earlier, you shot the 4, and then you shot the 5, and then you shot the 1. So that's a nice 3-ball pattern to where after you shot the 1, you could have gotten position on the 8. So that means we have the 2, 3, 6, and 7. So what kind of pattern could we run to where we can enter into the 4-ball to enter that last end sequence? To where no matter what, after you shoot the 4, 1, and the 5, we would be done. We would have automatic position on the 8 ball. Whereas what you did, you got position you took your ball in hand, you shot the 2 ball in, and then you shot the 4, 5, and the 1.
Yep.
Then you pivoted, because I thought you were going to shoot the 3, which was going to require you to shoot the 6 and 7, and then you have to come back down like above the side pockets again in order to shoot the 8. So I don't know. Here, I'm kind of thinking, I don't know, I would kind of think maybe using the 6 or the 7 to kind of set up for the 4 ball. But does what I'm saying here make sense to where this is how I would end up changing your pattern here, to where maybe instead what you could have done was 2, 4, 3, and then remove the 5 or the 1, but leave one of them there, because like I said, any ball down table is the ball that I think you should use as a key ball. So that way you're automatically behind the 8 ball to shoot it in the corner pocket here. And then that way you don't have to do any movement. Now, that's just starting from the ball in hand. We take the pattern that you originally played, and then when you did that pivot, that was a good pivot, because then it allowed you to be, naturally in position. One could also argue, why wouldn't the 2 ball be the key ball? So that way you can kind of just, hit a draw shot
draw right off of it,
or do something. That's perfectly fine as well. Because really, if I want to go with that, then maybe I would have taken ball in hand and started with the 5 or the 1, or heck, maybe even start with the 4 ball and get, because the 5 and the 1, those 2 balls are kind of funny. Right, yeah. They're so close together to where if you can't shoot the 5, then you clearly can't shoot the 1. But since
the 1's only home right now is a low left to take it long.
Yeah, so that's where like I said, just being a little nitpicky on the pattern play there, especially with the selection, the first selection with ball in hand. Is there any issue with what you did? No, not really, because of the pivot that you did. Yeah. But I do think we could have made it just a little bit easier.
Yeah, Fuggles also asked why the 2 first, and I think the reason I chose it is because it's so close to the rail and it narrowly sneaks by the 8. I didn't want to have any kind of weird cut shot on it that forces another shape. So if I can go ahead and get the most trouble ball off the table, which in my opinion right now is the 2 or possibly the 5, because those are the only ones that need any kind of shape. That's why I didn't want to do it, because yes, you could use the 2 as your key ball, but you want to leave somewhat near this lower long rail to be able to just stun right off of it, and I didn't have an entire pattern picked out to leave that 2 as my key. So that was just kind of my mindset. The reason I was trying to go from the 5 to the 1 and then take the 3, because in my mind I was like, let's take care of everything up top, then take care of the 3 in the middle, and then the 6, 7, 8 will be the last 3. But I over rolled off of the 1, so then the 3 ball, I'm back cutting it, meaning the cue ball is either going long or I got to run it around 2, 3 rails for shape. So you know what? That's when I did pivot and I changed it to where now the 3 is going to be my out ball. So that was kind of my mindset.
I'm still trying to look and see, like, is there a better pattern that we could have started with, to where the 2 ball is not the ball that we would start with. I'm kind of liking Fuggle's idea about starting with the 5, but I'm just kind of struggling to really put together like an optimal, like a really optimal pattern. Like the first thing that's just coming to my mind for right now is, what about if we draw off the 5, be straight in with the 5 and draw back to get position, to get nice and flat on the 2. Go ahead and play the 2 past the 8 like you did. Soft roll the 4 ball, so that way we can play the 3 in the side. That leaves you with the 6, 7, and the 1 left. So where you play the 6 in the corner.
Start with the 5 and draw back to get flat on the 2.
You don't have to get completely flat. I mean,
flat-ish.
You've got some leeway that you can play with for the position on that 4 ball. But because even that, if we don't take the 4 ball out fairly soon, that ball also becomes a funny ball, because the 15 ball kind of blocks a lot of the shape zone that we're looking at. But that's just one example that I see, because moving the 5 or the 1 just completely opens up the other ball. So that's why I kind of like Fuggle's idea of starting with the 5 or the 1, because whichever one you start with, you completely open the other ball up to where the 4 ball can naturally lead you to that other ball as well. So just something to think about.
Yeah. Backyard says, I like the 2, then the 5, and bump the 1 towards the other corner.
I would disagree with that, because why bump a ball when you don't need to?
Yeah, you can move it to the head rail in more of a trickier spot or something. Like,
yeah, right now
that's where my buddy Adam, who I was just talking about, has been preaching to me. Don't move a ball unless a ball needs moved.
Right. So that's why, to Fuggle's point, if you start with the 5 ball, the 1 ball is opened up. If you start with the 1 ball, the 5 ball is opened up. So therefore, nothing has to be bumped. All you have to do is maintain cue ball control.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of that. Let's go back to your dramaticness.
Yeah. Let me show you how. And even right here, I still think if I just roll this 7 forward so I can do a stop shot on the 3, then I'm out. But I stop this. Don't get me wrong. I think you're right, though.
Okay.
it's really more just the fact that, well, you just missed a ball.
Like I said, it's a miss. Misses happen. I get it.
I am quite aware. All right, so Gio should probably just cut this to the top right and just stun side to side.
Nicely done.
Yeah. I've played Geo enough. We don't have to mark pockets. There we go. Pro length bridge on that miss. Way too long of a bridge. That's my forte. I definitely lengthen my bridge way too much, and I'm working little by little of getting it where it needs to be. But you kind of fall into old habits. You bring it back out. Hold on, stop. So right. I am making a conscious effort of that. That's for sure. All right, what do you make? Made one solid.
One solid. So this is disgusting.
Is he trying to 3-ball combo that? Like walk that 3 or walk the 5 down?
Looks like that's what he tried.
And that's where he could have played the billiard.
This is where, let's pause here. This is where I would have to say again, is this rack runnable? I think it's fairly obvious to everybody what is the problem on the table, and that's that corner where the 6-ball blocks three of your stripes.
Yep.
Right? So the question is going to be is, can you come up with a plan to deal with that? And does your skill set even allow you to deal with that? This is where everybody just has to be honest with themselves of what they can and cannot do. That's another thing that gets in players' ways is themselves. Is saying I can do anything. All right, I'm a skill level 3, but I play like a skill level 9 or a skill level 8.
I've made that shot before. I can make it again.
Right? Everybody gets in their own way versus humbling yourself and saying, here's what I know I can do, and here's what I know I can't do, and let me just stick with doing things that I know that I can do. To the point to where it's like, well, is it really to any of your benefit that I already saw you were about to shoot that 10 ball into the side pocket and probably start pecking away at some of the balls that or some of your stripes, and then you're going to go deal with those 3 stripes down there? That's not going to be helpful at all.
No, it's not.
Because it's going to be, like I said before, to where now you have to wait for your opponent to miss for you and grant you a shot.
Right.
So again, if you have the skill set to figure out how to get that 6-ball out of there, then by all means go ahead and go for it. But I would say, as a generic type of planning, and considering who the opponent is as a skill level 6, this is not to downplay your opponent, I'm just saying as a skill level 6 in general, I'd wonder, could you just knock the 9 into the 6 right now and open that pocket up? Because your just 13 ball is
especially then, because you can even slow roll the cue ball behind the 11 or near the 11.
Right, because your 13 ball is blocking that 7, and your opponent has no decent ball to get position on the 7 to shoot it into the open pocket.
Correct.
So, in my opinion, playing a move like that is to your advantage. You open up the pocket for your 3 stripes, and you have a fairly good probability that you're going to get back to the table because of that 7 ball. That make sense?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens though. Let's see how you play this out. Okay, 1 soldier down. You definitely shoot the 9-6 now.
Yeah.
This is dangerous if you're doing what I think you're doing. Yep. Try to get down there to see if you can actually maybe bump into it or something. Now this would be cool if you can actually knock the 12 into the 6 and they both fall. Not quite though. But this is still good. We didn't terribly overrun everything. This is the way I think it should have been handled. Again, someone better than me and someone better than both of y'all could have probably figured out how to actually solve the entire rack in that inning. But I think this is a very good strategic play here, given that your opponent's 7-ball is pretty pinned at this point.
That was a good shot.
That was a great shot.
Especially if he could see the edge of the 3 now. Go ahead and take it. Because he's on the wrong side of the 4 to leave the 3, I think.
Well, this goes back to what I was saying about that 7-ball, though. Because if he's going to peck off all of these other balls here and then leave that 7 last, he's not doing himself any favors. Ooh. All right.
I mean, it goes to the top right. I think
this is good. Yeah, I think this is good. Your opponent definitely can steal this rack here from this position.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it's getting tricky now.
Yeah.
I wish the cue ball didn't roll that much to the 2 ball. Because this move you got to make from the 2 to the 4 now is really tough. Little unfriendly bump there a friendly bump there from your ball. Wow. Okay. Hey, the all critical shot here. Uh-oh. Whoa, hopefully he's not point hooked.
I don't know. I don't think so. Because it looked like it almost bounced just out just that little bit. And nope, saw it.
Nicely done. Nicely done. APA 7 versus an APA 6. So this is a race to 5-4.
Yep. He's halfway home. Oh,
nice little hop there.
No kidding.
It's like you need both a solid and a stripe. Yeah.
2 stripe, or yeah, one of each. The only question is the 14. If the 14 goes to this low right pocket, stripes are
past the 6. Oh, that was unfortunate.
Oh, but look at that. Just tied me up.
You have an open table.
I mean, stripes look great, but I don't have a start. Oh, I moved the 14 now.
Can we get a pause here, because I want to address a comment here. Backyard Billiards, it says, I hate take what you make. I understand why. To which I would still counter that. I think I mentioned this on the last time we talked about being on your live stream, about when you want to present yourself as a good player, right? If whatever you make on the table and you see that it's easier to run the other set and it's harder to run the set that you just made, well, you took the easy route out versus showing how good you are to take the harder set out, right? So that's where it's like, well, okay, I get it, right? It's certainly a valid argument, because it's not about showing how good you are. It's about freaking winning, right? So you would definitely want to take the easier set out in order to do that. So I see where, like me, I like both. I get the reasoning for both, to where it's like, we're watching, you try to demonstrate whatever skill that you would want to portray out to your viewers. And so when you present to your viewers this harder out, and you get that harder out. And then of course everybody else would look at like, man, if you didn't have to take that, look how much easier. Well, what difference does it make? You said
Right.
so yourself. This route was easier. I was forced to play the harder route, and I got it. Right? Like, so that's just bragging rights at that point. But for the sake of competition, right? I get it, right? You'd want to hopefully be able to take the easier set when you have a choice to play solids or stripes after making a ball in the break. I totally get it.
I mean, that's like when I practice with Michelle, we practice when we play 8-ball, we practice BCA, so it's open after the break. But after the break, I always look at what's easier and what's harder, and I go after what's harder. I'm the higher handicap. I should shoot the harder pattern versus just breaking and running or whatever on her and leaving her tricky shots. I don't. So
that's good practice.
Yeah, exactly. But that's practice. How do you not strive to be like the professionals? And I don't think any pro 8-ball tournaments or take what you make.
This is true. This is true. Like I said, it's
not
it's
a lot of pro
in,
tournaments run 8-ball.
Yeah, but even pro 8-ball tournaments is take what you make. Very true, Trevor. And it's good to see you, Trevor. I know I haven't really posted a whole lot of content, and I know you're usually in on my live stream, so it's good to see you over here.
I was gonna say, I don't recognize the name. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Speaking of, he actually took solids. Oh, wow. That was a cut.
Oh, what a shot.
Dang. Gio brought the scissors out for this. He's cutting everywhere.
Yeah, but this goes back to like to me, it's always important when you come to the table, and that is ask this question: can I run this?
Right.
And be honest with yourself, because if the answer is no, then you definitely need to find a spot where you're going to stop. Like, try to block a pocket or whatever. Now, so far,
like right now, what's the shot?
I like what I've seen
7?
here. Well, if he cuts the 7-ball in, he's gonna bump the 6-ball. It's gonna come near that 14-ball. Will it be out in the open? Is the question.
I don't think he can cut the 7. I think the 6 is too far in front.
Okay.
I've been enjoying your channel for the past year. Well, thank you, Trevor. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. So from here, like, ask the question: is this rack runnable? The answer is yes. So let's pick our pattern. You're starting with the ball that I think you should be starting with. So where do we go from here?
Yeah, hang it.
Nowhere, since you can't make it.
That was a lot harder shot than it seemed. I challenge you to shoot that, Chris.
Actually, the way I've been playing lately, I probably would have missed it too.
When you only play one night a week, I get it.
Ooh, that's a good shot. I like that. I clearly would think he would have wanted to be straight in on that 5-ball for I'm gonna call it the top left corner pocket. So that way he can just roll the cue ball. This is gonna be a stunning ball where he's gonna come off the side rail.
Good shot, but man, did he hit that hard.
I don't think he had to hit it that hard. He's fortunate that he got position.
Yeah.
But definitely cue ball definitely went the route that I thought it was going to take.
Yeah.
It takes that. You're getting your butt kicked in this match.
It happens, my friend. I'm telling you, it happens. I don't only post wins.
That's good. That's good on you, because I do the same thing.
I'm not that guy.
I post my losses as well.
Absolutely. I'm not here for bragging rights or, I mean, you guys see me miss a ball in hand and doing stupid stuff. This is not a brag. Okay.
I think this is another open table.
Yeah. Looks like this one, 2 solids down, 1 stripe. So starting right here, what do you like? Solids or stripes?
Well, if the ball that's next to the 8 ball, if that ball passes and goes to the corner pocket, it's stripes all day long. As far as I can tell. I'm trying to look at what the out is, though.
I'm assuming that's the 15.
Man, this is a little tricky because of that 11 ball. Because I liked the 14 ball being last to go into the pocket where his hand is over, and then the 8's going to go into the side once I move those 2 stripes. It's that 11 ball that's actually throwing me for a loop to really try to figure out how to move things around here.
You'd have to leave yourself a stop shot on the 12 so you can cut that 11 to the bottom left.
Exactly. So what ball allows me to get that stop shot position? Do I try to get it now off of the 10 ball, maybe with like a stun right cue ball, and try to come in between the 13 and the 12, so that way I can shoot the 12? That's one possibility. Man, I just don't know, but even the ball that's next to the 8 ball makes this rack a little tricky as well. Let's see what your opponent does. Like we've identified the problem.
Assuming that 15 goes top left, I like starting with the 10, high just a little bit of right, and then ideally trying to leave for a stop shot on that 12. If you don't have it, you've got the 13, and then you've got that 15 to the top left, and that should give you the 12, 11. But then you might have to work the cue not to get behind the 4 to get out for the 14 possibly.
Now I was actually okay with the ball that he chose, but I definitely wouldn't have shot the I wouldn't have shot it the way that he did. Now he gets a fortunate breakout here to where now things are a little bit easier. So now all the attention has to go to that 15 ball. Like I said, if the 15 ball can't even pass the 8, then all the talking that we just did was irrelevant. Let's see what he does here, though. All right, nice little shot there. We're not doing a whole lot of cue ball movement like I talked about. Okay, he's prepping, so I guess that means it does pass.
Because if not, man, he'd have to get that 14 and then get to that long row.
Under rolled that one. This would definitely be nice to be flat on this ball so that we can just slightly draw back.
He's actually done that multiple times this rack.
Okay. Yeah, that almost turned into a break and run for your opponent there. That was some nice shooting there.
Should have been a break and run for the win.
So question is, how are you going to deal with the 1 and the 4? What?
I think I was trying to slide draw that and I just punched it. I think I just hit it bad. Backyard Billiard says, good night, guys. Appreciate you stopping by, man.
Oh, did we get the safety? Because if he did, that's a great shot.
I'm pretty sure I did, but
see,
it looks like I've got the edge hooked.
Too many players will try to figure out how to run this rack and sell out the rack. You must have asked yourself the question, this is no longer runnable. Let me find a way to play safe. And you decided to play safe. So this is good. If your opponent wins from here, I mean, they freaking earn it. And
absolutely,
you would rather want your opponent to earn the rack than for you to accidentally give them the rack because you made a mistake.
Right.
So I think this is good.
Yeah, and I truly hate combos. Even though that 1-4 looked like it was basically wired, at least now this plays it safe and both balls have a home.
Yep.
So let's just, as long as it's hooked, which I think it did. Yeah, he's playing a little swerve.
Oh, what a hit.
Got it.
This is a good position for your opponent to be in because you have to shoot up table
Yep.
And if you miss, he has shots available. Hint, hint. So, what does your opponent decide to do from here? In certain situations, like for you to be in the position that you're in, like I like to call it do or die mode. At that point, to where it's like we got to try to do something. If we mess up, we mess up.
I mean, I could have played another safe. I could have just hit straight into the 1, get the cue ball to roll behind the 4, but I think I had that same attitude of do or die.
Yep.
Great shot. Unfortunately, drew it.
Oh yeah. Why? No, I mean he didn't draw it. He bottom left spun the ball. Take off the spin. You're shooting the 8 ball, I think, into the side pocket, which is what he wanted. Mm-hmm. He's gonna try to thinly back cut that ball. I'm trying to predict where that cue ball is going to go. It's going to be a 3-rail shot. 2,
and just
3.
Barely. I'm getting down shooting real quick.
Yep. Are you in give up mode?
I don't think I've got that, so, but I am definitely in oh shit mode.
That's a good shot.
Just don't get on the rail.
In that case, I wish you would have hit it just a little bit harder and come 2 more rails. Put that to the side pocket. Okay.
We're not swept.
Not a shutout. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. The
second video, I'm gonna just show me getting my butt whipped right after.
This is good. This is good. Okay, we scratched on our last break. Let's see if we hit this one. Your opponent's been actually doing second ball breaks really well, where his cue ball goes back through the rack. Yeah. So yours goes behind the rack. So either you're cutting it too much or you're not putting enough bottom spin on the ball. This is a decent spread. It looks like you made what? Like you made a solid?
Looks like one of each.
3 or one of each. Okay. So remember, always ask the question, is this rack runnable? Starting with this ball. The same principle kind of still applies when I talk about tip position priority. It's just that like I said, depending upon the layout of the rack, typically you don't want to be moving your cue ball around a whole lot. Yeah. Now in this case here, because you got to bump stuff open because you're trying to solve all your problems, you got one more problem left, and that's that 11 ball.
Yep. Oh, it went clean.
Nicely done. So now can we deep spin that 9 ball? You're going to hit the rail and kind of head towards the 2. You don't want to touch your 14 ball.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want to try to go underneath it. You want your cue ball to go towards that 2 ball. That's the reason why I
tried to go underneath it and cause a problem.
This still works out though, because you have a back cut angle to where you should naturally miss the 1 ball.
Yeah.
And you probably should be able to shoot the 8 ball into the opposite corner pocket. Yep, you're already looking at it. Exactly.
Yeah, just seeing where's the cue ball going? What's the angle?
Oh, I was gonna say that was a great shot. I mean, it's a great make, but we didn't really get the cue ball exactly where we wanted. Oh, this is gross. Does it go in the side pocket? Well, I mean, you're risking the scratch, I think, either way.
Yeah.
It's a tough position to be in. Oh, this guy. This
Have you,
guy
hey,
here,
have
he
you ever
wants-
seen this? Have you ever seen that method?
He wants to kick the 8-ball in.
I'm looking at my
Now
options. I'm just seeing what's possible.
Now he's looking at the side pocket. I think that side pocket is super risky.
Oh, it is. And I'll be honest, I don't remember even what I do here. I edited this
Now
video
we're looking back at
2 months ago.
Now we're looking back at the kick.
Yep.
Good hit. You wanted that
I
break
wanted
and run. You wanted that break and run.
Needed it to kind of give momentum a new address, you know?
Yeah. Hey, dumb ref. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night, and good luck tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually also playing in a 9-ball world qualifier for my team tomorrow morning, so good luck, brother.
Okay, let's see how your opponent's going to get to that 6-ball. Like maybe right now, drawing off the 1. Not quite. Does he still want to shoot it? Okay, I agree with this.
Yeah, his balls are too spread out. He doesn't really have a safe.
Oh no!
No.
Lose control of the cue ball. So you get a little bit of charity here.
Two.
Okay, here we go.
Get another chance at a bad break. Here we go. See if I can control this a little better. Nope.
Same thing. Same thing. So now I'm led to believe though that you're just not putting enough bottom spin on the ball.
Yeah. I actually remember this shot because I made a single stripe and look at that wall of stripes by me.
Yep. But you don't need to do anything. You just stick you just hit the what is it, the
I think the 11
and just
or no 15
and just stick the cue ball right there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even bother trying to make the ball.
No. Yeah, I purposely cut it out. I was like, don't fall, don't fall.
This looks really good. I like this. So immediately, what I see here, if you get ball in hand, which, I mean, the probabilities are pretty high. I mean, he might be able to hit the 1. Never mind. Oh, and he just solved your problem for you. Because I was going to say, take your ball in hand, and I think you could shoot the 12 into the side, and you would break open those 2 stripes, and then your 15 ball that you shot first, that's your backup shot.
So part of this is also knowing your opponent, and I've played Gio quite a bit. I know him very well. He's getting a lot better in terms of ball pocketing, and then a little bit better in cue ball control, but he doesn't play safes, and his kicks and banks or his kicks are not great. So that's where I was like, you know, if you're down and you need to come back, play a couple safes, get into the mental side, and he'll lose his momentum. And the 8-ball goes in the side or all the way down. So got the 15 as your key ball.
That was a good pattern. I like that pattern.
Thank you.
Are you playing the 8 in the side, I would hope?
It's where I pointed. Like, that's where I was trying to get it.
Yeah.
Just a little understroke, but still calling the side. Run to the 1 ball to stop it.
That was a good pattern. I like being in these positions as well, because when you're on the hill, you're thinking like, oh, I can be a little comfortable and stuff. But then when your opponent starts creeping back, like you're doing right now all the pressure is on him instead of you. That's a little better. That almost came back through the rack.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's dry. Yep, dry break. Obviously, solids look good. You just got to shape that 2-ball, or maybe have to move the 15 to open it up. But
so that's why I think we play the 4-ball now. Stun off the short rail, get position on the 3, and then
the 3 or the 7.
Or is that the 7? The ball that the cue ball's next to, the solid.
Yeah,
that the cue ball's
I think
next
that's
to.
a 7 because a 3-ball looks like it's way up on the opposite corner.
Okay, but the 7-ball, we shoot the 7-ball with left spin and go 3 rails to try to get on the good side of the 6. So that way, when we shoot the 6, we bump the 2 away from those 2 stripes, and then our 1-ball is a backup shot, because if we bump the 2 good enough, we might be able to shoot the 2 or the 3, but our 1-ball becomes a nice backup shot. So this is a good start here, but I would be shooting that 7-ball right now.
Yes.
Oh, that might have been okay. If you would have made the ball, he's in perfect position to hit the 6 and bump the 2 and use the 1, like I said, and use the 1 to get back onto the 7, and then use the 7 to get back up to the 2 and the 3. Like that, that's a possibility. Oops, I know what you were trying to do.
Yeah, trying to lock it up a little bit.
So this is okay. We're still okay. He just made that 5-ball harder since he missed it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ooh, what a shot. Now the 5-ball is not a problem anymore.
As long as it goes by that 3 easily, which it looks like there's just enough gap. Ooh.
Never mind.
Close. No, I mean, I definitely got some work with that 15.
What are you going to do?
I'm assuming clean up the north end of the table.
I don't know that she should have done that, but let's see.
I'd be okay with leaving 13 or something. Am I really trying to get all the way back? Oh, I think I just got there. I was trying to leave a shape on that 10 to be able to bump the 15.
Whoops.
There's Todd's inner monologue for most of pool. Whoops.
Whoops.
I wonder why he didn't go for the 6 right there, because it looks like 6 clears the 1 to that side, and that would have automatically gave you the 2-ball. But
well, he was on the rail, so his cue ball would roll past the 2. Like if there's enough of the 2 to see to go into the corner pocket that he just shot into,
yeah,
his cue ball would roll past to where he wouldn't be able to see that.
Gotcha.
At least that's what I think.
Yeah. Good shot.
All right, moment of truth. This is the shot that determines the rack, or determines the match.
The match,
in this
really,
case.
yeah.
And he got it.
How good did he hit that?
As long as this ball goes. Oh,
Look at that short stroke. accidental like jumped it, still made the ball.
Some people would want to argue that that's a foul.
Right.
Can you go back and try to pause it like right at the moment of the hit?
It looked like he was trying to.
I just can't tell.
Yeah, I mean he's hiked down, so I think it's legal. I think he just tried to do like a pinch draw, and it ended up hopping the ball, which lost all draw and just rolled with it.
Well,
and I think that's actually what I'm talking to him there is was that a bad hit? And he's saying right there, I don't think so.
He just accidentally it looked like after watching it looks like he just accidentally scooped the cue ball.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you the question: was it a bad hit? And shooter's call. If you say it's good.
And that's the game.
That's the game. That's how we lost. I tried to make a comeback.
Well, I think it's plain and clear. Like what I talked about here about 8-ball is just a completely different strategy than 9-ball. And a lot of times, even in 9-ball, both games, you have to ask the question when you come to the table: is the rack runnable? And if you can say to yourself yes, then you figure out how to run it. If you say to yourself no, well, why is it not runnable? Because in 8-ball, you're going to be looking for clusters. You're going to be looking for balls that are blocked by other balls, to where like a certain ball might only have one pocket it can go into, and you have to get very specific position in order to get there. So when you're playing 8-ball, that's how you prioritize. Are there problem spots on the table? And if there are, you need to figure out how to solve them. If your skill set doesn't allow you to solve them, well then how many balls are you going to take off of the table before you surrender the table back to your opponent? Right. And it's usually not a good idea to take a lot of balls off the table and leave your opponent a more open table than what would have been if you'd have just, stopped a whole lot sooner. So that's usually the strategy that I like to play with when I play 8-ball. If I can run the table and my skill set allows me to run the table, then I'm usually going to try. Sure. And that's with me being honest with myself that yes, I believe I can do this with my skill set. Versus it's less than ideal that lower skill level players, I mean, they think they can make every ball because the concept of safety doesn't usually enter their mind. When it comes to playing pool, whether it's 8-ball or 9-ball, but
I've made that shot before.
I mean, yeah. So, but really, this game is all about control. Yes, you can argue that the game is about good shooting. Let's just make a ball every time we make a ball. But I would just argue that it's more about having control on and off the table. And by having control when you're off the table, it's because you played some sort of good safety that increases the probability of you coming back to the table.
Right. So there you go. The best thing you can think about and keep in your mind and memorize is when you come to the table, is the rack runnable? Think about that. You have to be able to, and if you ever get out of shape, you get a little bit funny, something moves out of the way, the whole table changes, whatever it is, re-ask yourself that question. Is the rack runnable? Great information as always. Thank you so much, Lil Chris. I appreciate you always coming on the stream, and we always have a great time. You're a wealth of knowledge. I hope everybody else really enjoyed this as well. Like I mentioned earlier, do me a favor, like, comment. If you haven't, subscribe, please. And we're going to come back. I'm done with some tournaments for quite a while, and we're going to get into some regular league matches. I know you guys were asking for them, so I'm coming back. Thank you so much.